Parliament is the supreme legislative body of India. The visible part of Parliament's work takes place on the floor of the House. In a year, Parliament meets for the budget, monsoon and winter sessions. This part of Parliament's work is televised and closely watched. However, Parliament has another important forum, its parliamentary committees, through which a considerable amount of work is done. Recently, few changes were made in the membership of few of these committees. In the next 20 minutes, I'll take you through all the important changes. Come along.
Parliament of India deliberates on complex matters that often need technical expertise for better understanding. Parliamentary committees provide members the forum to engage with domain experts and government officials in their study. These committees also help in building consensus across political parties. Committees have closed-door meetings that allow members to freely question and discuss issues. There are 24 departmentally related parliamentary standing committees. Each of them oversees a set of ministries. The department-related parliamentary standing committees were first set up in 1993 to help Parliament keep pace with the growing complexity of governance. They also examine policy issues of respective ministries and make suggestions to the government.
In respect of demands for grants 2020-21, the 8 committees of Rajya Sabha have held 20 meetings and discussed the demands of 18 ministries over a total duration of 63 hours. Taking into consideration that the Parliament meets for about 6 hours during each sitting, the total time spent by these 8 committees examining the demands of various ministries in effect amounts to over 10 sittings of Parliament. Proportionately, the work done by the 16 committees of Lok Sabha amounts to another 20 sittings of the Parliament. In all, the work put in by the total 24 DRSCs in examining the demands for grants of all the ministries equal to 30 days of functioning of the Parliament, which is quite significant. That alone takes the total of sittings of Parliament during a year to over 100 days.
हमारी कोशिश ये भी है कि जो संसदीय समितियां हैं, उन संसदीय समितियों की वर्तमान परिस्थिति के अंदर व्यापक कार्यक्रम में बदलाव आए। ये समितियां जो मिनी संसद के रूप में काम करती है, उसकी कोई आदर्श आचार संहिता उसकी भी पालन हो और संसदीय समिति महत्वपूर्ण विषयों पर चर्चा करती है, संवाद करती है, फील्ड में जाकर नीतियों कार्यक्रमों के सामाजिक आर्थिक प्रभावों का मूल्यांकन करती है। जो कभी विधेयक संसदीय समिति में भेजा जाता है, उस पर स्टेक होल्डरों से और जिनके लिए ये कानून बनने जा रहा, उन लोगों से एक अच्छी चर्चा संवाद का केंद्र बने, ताकि जब विधेयक बने तो संसदीय समितियों के सुझावों को भी इनपुट लिया जाए, ताकि कानून ठीक से बने।
Since committees meet throughout the year, they help make up for this lack of time available on the floor of the House. After a committee completes its study, it publishes its report, which is laid in Parliament. These recommendations are not binding. However, they have a lot of relevance. The government has to report back on whether these recommendations have been accepted or not. Based on this, the committees then table action taken report in Parliament.
Constituted under Rule 268, each of the standing committee consists of not more than 31 members. 10 of these members are nominated by Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. 21 members are nominated by the Speaker from the Lok Sabha. 8 committees serviced by the Rajya Sabha and 16 serviced by the Lok Sabha are recast every year by both the presiding officers of Parliament in consultation with respective parties and the government. Each standing committee has to consider and report on the demands for grants of the related ministries or departments. The committees examine bills pertaining to related ministries or departments referred to the committee by the chairman or the speaker. The panels also consider annual reports of the departments of ministries. Besides this, they also consider national long-term policy documents presented to the House if referred to the committee by chairman or the speaker. Recently, Chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu appointed Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi as the chairman of the department-related Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home Affairs in place of Anand Sharma, who retires from the upper house. The Committee on Home Affairs presently deals with sensitive and important ministries of Home Affairs, personnel, public grievances and pensions, and development of Northeastern region.
I am privileged to assume charge of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Home and Northeast Affairs. I recall with great pleasure and enjoyment my chairing of the very interesting and diverse Parliamentary Standing Committee on Law, Personnel and Public Grievances more than a decade ago in 2011. I have always believed, and it is true in fact, that Parliament at work is Parliament in committee, or Parliament in committee is Parliament at work. When we see the disruption, the chaos, the allegations and counter-allegations sometimes in the House, which unfortunately through the media become the defining image, we forget the sterling work done behind closed doors by such committees. And that, I have no hesitation in saying, is partly because it is away from the glare of media lights. The degree of convergence, unanimity, harmony in committee reports is something we must cherish and promote and enhance.
Chairman Naidu has also nominated member Akhilesh Prasad Singh as chairman of the Committee on Subordinate Legislation. The Subordinate Legislation Committee scrutinizes and reports whether the powers to make rules, regulations, bylaws, schemes, or other statutory instruments conferred by the Constitution or delegated by Parliament have been properly exercised within such conferment or delegation. Chairpersons of other department-related parliamentary standing committees are V. Vijay Reddy, Committee on Commerce; Ram Gopal Yadav, Committee on Health and Family Welfare; Dr. Vinay Sahasrabuddhe, Committee on Education, Women, Children, Sports and Youth Affairs; Dr. K. Keshava Rao, Committee on Industry; Jairam Ramesh, Committee on Science, Technology, Environment, Forests and Climate Change; T.G. Venkatesh, Committee on Transport, Tourism and Culture; Kanimoi, Committee on Chemicals and Fertilizers; Rakesh Singh, Committee on Coal and Steel; Jual Oram, Committee on Defence; Rajiv Ranjan Singh, Committee on Energy; P.P. Chaudhary, Committee on External Affairs; Jayan Sinha, Committee on Finance; Sudeep Bandyopadhyay, Committee on Food, Consumer Affairs and Public Distribution; Dr. Shashi Tharoor, Committee on Information and Technology; Bhartahari Mehtab, Committee on Labour; Ramesh Biduri, Committee on Petroleum and Natural Gas; Radha Mohan Singh, Committee on Railways; Pratap Rao Jadhav, Committee on Rural Development; Rama Devi, Committee on Social Justice and Empowerment; Jagdambika Pal, Committee on Urban Development; and Dr. Sanjay Jaiswal, Committee on Water Resources.
The Public Accounts Committee is the oldest parliamentary committee in the Indian legislative realm and has been crucial in upholding the principle of accountability as it exercises oversight of public expenditure. What are the changes made in the membership of Public Accounts Committee? Let's find out.
The Committee on Public Accounts was first set up in 1921. It underwent a radical change with the coming into force of the Constitution of India on 26 January 1950, when the committee became a parliamentary committee. Till 1966 to 67, a senior member of the ruling party used to be the chairman of the committee. However, in 1967, for the first time, a member from the opposition in the Lok Sabha became the chairman of the committee. This practice continues till date. The committee is headed by Congress's Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary. The members of the Committee on Public Accounts for the term beginning on 1st May 2022 and ending on 30th April 2023 include members across political spectrum with diverse experience. The Public Accounts Committee examines public expenditure. That public expenditure is not only examined from a legal and formal point of view to discover technical irregularities, but also from the point of view of economy, prudence, wisdom and propriety. The sole purpose to do this is to bring out cases of waste, loss, corruption, extravagance and inefficiency.
The PSC is a house in miniature. Its decisions should be respected and its dignity enhanced. They are all parties work together in team spirit and no note of dissent is appended nor allowed. They work in the interest of the nation and of the House on behalf of the House. The PSC is a macrocosm of Parliament as the parties and groups find representations on it largely in proportion to their strength in the House.
The Committee on Public Undertakings examines the reports and accounts of the PSUs and the CAG audit reports related to PSUs. This committee was established in 1964 on recommendations of Krishna Menon Committee. It ascertains if the affairs of the PSU is being managed as per sound business and commercial principles and practices. The Committee on Public Undertakings consists of 22 members, comprising 15 members elected by Lok Sabha every year from amongst its members according to the principle of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote, and 7 members elected by the Rajya Sabha in like manner and nominated by that House for being associated with the committee. The system of election ensures that each party or group is represented on the committee in proportion to its respective strength in the House.
सरकारी उपक्रम जिनकी संख्या 300 से अधिक है, उनके काम करने का तौर तरीका बिल्कुल अलग है। उसको एक दुरुस्त करने के लिए तत्कालीन जो नेतृत्व था उसने विचार किया कि इस एक सरकारी उपक्रमों के लिए जिनकी संख्या 300 से अधिक है, एक अलग समिति का गठन किया जाए, क्योंकि सरकारी उपक्रमों में काम करने का स्वरूप दूसरा होता है, उसके काम करने का एक तरीका भी अलग होता है। तो इसलिए काफ़ी सोच विचार के बाद 1964 में अंतिम रूप से तय हुआ कि एक अलग से समिति का गठन किया जाए जो केवल सरकारी उपक्रमों के प्रक्रिया और कार्य संचालन को देखने का काम करे।
The Committee on Welfare of Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes examines the measures taken by the Union Government to secure due representation of scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in services, posts under its control. It reports on the working of the welfare programs for SCs and STs in the UTs as well. The Committee on Welfare of Scheduled Castes and Scheduled Tribes consists of 30 members, 20 elected by the Lok Sabha and 10 by the Rajya Sabha from amongst their members in accordance with the system of proportional representation by means of single transferable vote. The term of office of members of the committee shall not exceed 1 year.
I am fortunate and I feel honored that I am selected as Chairman of Parliamentary Committee on Welfare of Scheduled Caste and Scheduled Tribe. I am really thankful to our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Bhai Modi ji and our Honorable Speaker Sri Om Birla ji for my selection as a Chairman. This committee is a very important committee. It consists of total 30 members. All are the member of parliaments. Out of 30 members, 20 members are from Lok Sabha and 10 members are from Rajya Sabha. All these members are from different political parties, and this committee is known as a mini parliament committee.
So how are the members nominated to the respective committees? Well, the parties mutually agree and leaders are then asked to submit names of the members for consideration by the presiding officers by a specific date.
In suggesting names, leaders generally keep in mind that as far as possible, a member doesn't serve on a committee for more than 2 terms in a row. So far as seats available to smaller groups or independents and unattached members are concerned, the presiding officers nominate members from among them. After receiving all the names, presiding officers approve nomination of members to various committees. The nominated members are notified in the Parliamentary Bulletin Part 2. They are also formally informed individually.
Now, in our parliamentary system, the membership of these committees is done differently. So, for example, for department-related standing committees, political parties nominate their members, and the members are then appointed onto the committees by the presiding officers of the two houses. In financial committees, there is no nomination. Members are elected to these committees. Two common things between both department-related standing committees and financial committees is that the membership to these committees is for a period of 1 year, and ministers are never a part of these committees. There's another type of committee that is called ad hoc committee, which is constituted by Parliament once in a while. So, for example, there might be an occasion that a bill might be examined by a joint committee of the two houses. In such a case, the houses will pass a resolution for the constitution of a joint committee, and that resolution will specify who the members of the committee will be.
As in the case with several other practices of Indian parliamentary democracy, the institution of parliamentary committees also has its origin in the British Parliament. The first parliamentary committee was constituted in 1571 in Britain. The Public Accounts Committee was established in 1861.
Well, that's all we had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Namaskar.